Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are going to be installing a flare on the side of our van. These are sometimes called side pods or space pods. They are simply fiberglass extenders that we put on the side of the van in order for us to sleep widthways inside it. Most vans are simply too narrow and we need to sleep lengthways inside the van, which of course takes away from some of the interior room that you have. One thing to know from the outset is that the installation of a sliding door side versus a non-sliding door side is subtly different or can be different depending on the manufacturer. Normally, you'll get about 10 centimeters of extra room widthways when you install one of these on the non-sliding door side. But when you install on the sliding door side, typically, for example, from Flarespace, they'll give you a shallower flare to install, normally 6 to 7 centimeters, so you don't get quite the same room on that side. With Functional Design, the company who I'm installing here, they have a slightly different mechanism. Instead, both flares for both sides are the same, what they send you, but the installation on the sliding door side is different because you install it from the inside and push the flare out to the depth that you want it to go out so that you get clearance with your sliding door. I purchased 2 Functional Design flares, but I actually only ended up installing one of them. And that's because I didn't end up really liking this method that they recommend for installing the flare on the sliding door side. It just didn't sit quite right with me, so I thought I'd point that out here. The third way, which is really great if you have the option to do it, is to be able to install the same flare on both sides, giving you the same 10 centimeters, and install a sliding door extender so you can actually get a longer roller to give you clearance over the flare when you slide that door open. However, some van models don't offer that. Now, there's actually a fourth method for installing a flare on your sliding door side, and that is to use a door stop limiter. A door stop limiter limits the distance that your sliding door can open so that it doesn't smash into your flare when it's fully opened. I would really only recommend a door stop limiter on a bigger van like an L4 van, maybe an L3 van. So the installation is pretty straightforward. When you will have received the flare, you will have also received a template, which looks like that. We're going to cut the template to shape and we are going to go out to the van and stick it on with some masking tape. So let's go outside and have a look how it's done. So we've come out to the van and there are these ribs running vertically up the van, which we need to remove before we can cut out this panel where the flare is going to be. So I've went and got my angle grinder and there are just 4 connection points here, which I need to angle grind out, and we're going to be able to pull this rib right off. That rib is actually there for shock absorption to reduce the rattling of that panel while you're driving about. Removing it is going to be fine for the structural integrity of the van, and we need to do it anyway. Whew, hot work. So now we're going to stick the template on the inside. We're going to drill 4 holes in the corners and then go on the outside and stick the template on the outside and do the actual cutting from there. So we're going to just drill a few pilot holes so that we know exactly where to put this on the outside. So we've got our 6 bolt holes here and we've got our template. I'm going to go into the inside and just push some bolts out to make our lives a bit easier. Hey, Shane here. Quick heads up before we continue. If you're planning a van conversion, you'll know that there's a lot to learn and it can get a little bit overwhelming. That's why I created the Van Conversion Mastery course. It walks you through the entire build step by step. Electrics, insulation, carpentry, plumbing, metalwork, the whole shebango. Instead of bouncing between 50 different YouTube videos, you get one clear, correct sequence to follow. Thousands of students have taken the course since 2019, and thevanconversion.com now helps over 1 million people a year build their dream van. I'm a certified electrical installer, so everything in the course is safe, standards-based, and explained simply, so you can build with confidence. If you think this might help you out, you can get it at thevanconversion.com/mastery. The link is in the description below. To start off with the jigsaw, I just need to drill into the van so we can get started. And our jigsaw, we just want to make sure we have a metal cutting jigsaw blade. And we're going to keep it on a low speed setting. And the reason we started here is because we want to end here as well, so that the actual piece that we're cutting out can be held from the top center. If it was held from the bottom, for example, it could just fall out and bend the metal. This is the cleanest place to start your cut. There we go. We're going to file down the edges next. And we're just going to get rid of the swarf, those metal shavings, with a microfiber towel. We want to get rid of those because they will rust over time if you leave them. Next, we're just going to add some metal paint all along the edges here. I have Hammerite. Even better than metal paint is zinc spray because it dries a bit quicker. So we've got the flare clamped on, so next I've got my little Sharpie, and there's a load of bolt holes on the inside of the flare here. So I'm just going to mark with the Sharpie where those are, so we know where to drill. Huh. It seems that the Sharpie is too long. Stubby Sharpie. All right, with our new and improved stubby Sharpie, I'm going to go back in and do what I was trying to do before. Time to drill out those bolt holes. I'm going to do a little pilot hole first, and then I'm going to go back again with the full M6 size drill bit. That was the M4 pilot hole, and now I'm going to go in with the full-sized M6. Just going to quickly wipe down the swarf and add some metal paint. We're just about to stick the flare on, so I'm just giving a last little wipe around the outsides. So we've got our flare here, and I've got my Sikflex 522. We're going to put a good big bead the whole way around. Wait, oh my god, it's sloppy. And then the last two M6 bolts, which we're just going to pop through here. Just so you can see what we're doing, we've got the M6 bolt, we've got the M6 nut and the M6 washer, and we pop it through. So we've got all our bolts in. Now I've got a little spanner and a ratchet. So you can see there's actually some light on the side of the flares here because we don't have any bolt holes. So we're going to add some clamps here to give that Sikaflex some chance to adhere. We have got all 4 clamps on, we've got all the bolts in. Now let's go outside to the other side with our squeegee and clean up the sealant so it looks nice. The whole aim when we're doing the sealant is just to remove any air gap, even like up here. So with the squeegee, as you're bringing it along, you're gonna gather other sealant like that, and we can just pop it in there, almost like paint it in. And the nice thing with the squeegee is if you put it on a flat surface, it actually removes the sealant that's there. You see how that's cleaning as you go? So I definitely recommend keeping some Blue Roll with you and just keep going over and over until you have a nice, smooth sealed area. We're just putting a last little bead of Sikaflex because there's some areas that are a little bit empty on the top, and we're going to go over with the squeegee tool. I should say, if you don't have a squeegee tool, you can do this with your finger. If you dip it in a bit of wet water, or even just normal water, and run it along the crease, you can do it, but it is sloppy business, and really those squeegees make it a lot easier. Well, I'm just polishing the sealant off, but that is pretty much it. How to install a flare.